Dear children, today we are learning a new topic, All the World a Stage, by William Shakespeare. You might be knowing about William Shakespeare. If you are having textbooks, just see page number 24. This is the picture of William Shakespeare. Here's William Shakespeare. Can you see this? Yes. And this is the introduction given in the textbook. Let me read out this introduction first. William Shakespeare, born in 1564 and died in 1616, as you can see here on the board. Means he was a poet belonging to 16th and 17th century. He was an English poet, playwright and actor. Poet, playwright, and actor. He is one of the well-known dramatists in the world. He is often called England's national poet and the Bard of Avon. Shakespeare has written 37 plays. As far as poems are concerned, he has written in all 375 poems. If you talk about sonnets, 14-line poem, he has written 154 poems. And quotes, famous sayings, 100 over. Just like thy name is women, what is there in name, etc. The famous books he has written or the plays he has written include, if you can see here, Romeo and Juliet, written 1597, Hamlet 1603, Macbeth 1623, Othello 1609, A Midsummer Night's Dream 1595, Julius Caesar 1599, The Tempest 1623, etc. Now let's come to the poem. This poem, All the World's a Stage, actually is taken from one of Shakespeare's plays by the name As You Like It. Can you see here? Yes, As You Like It. Okay. It is there. Actually, this is from the speech given by Orlando, a character in this play, As You Like It, and later spoken by Jacques in Act 2, Scene 7 of the play, As You Like It. Okay, this is about William Shakespeare and this poem. As you all might be knowing, Shakespeare is also known as father of English drama. If you search on net, you will get lot of information about this British poet William Shakespeare. Let us come to the poem. In this poem, the poet or the author is saying this world as a stage. I'll read out the poem, a few lines first, and then again we'll come back to the topic, what I was discussing earlier. All the world's a stage, all the men and women merely players, they have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. Let's understand this. All the world a stage. The poet, in the first line of the poem, is comparing the whole world to a stage. Dear children, you understand the meaning of stage? Stage is a place where the actors or performers come and play their role assigned to them. And when that role is over, they take the exit of the stage. And therefore, here by comparing the world to a stage, the poet is saying that the whole earth is a stage, and all the men and women, all the men and women, all the men and women on this earth are players. So what the poet is saying in the first line, all the worlds means all the world is a stage. Comparing the world with the stage, that is, the poet is using the figure of speech here, metaphor. Metaphor. Metaphor is a figure of speech when you do the comparison between two things without using the word like, so or as. Or you can say when there is an implied comparison, the figure of speech used is metaphor. So world is compared with stage. Now here in the second line, all the men and women. See, men and women. Men is the plural of man and women is the plural of woman. It means the poet William Shakespeare has divided the whole world in two only, in two. And what is that? The whole population, either male or female. Means no religion, no caste, no nationality, nothing. So all the men means all the people in the world together, and they are called as players. Again, a comparison is there, and again metaphor is there because it is also an implied comparison. It means men and women are compared with players. Now let us see this word players. See, play plus er is play. Okay. To understand this word, I'll give one or two examples. For example, write plus er, that is writer. teach plus er is teacher, learn plus er is learner, etc. Now see, one who does the work of writing is called writer, one who does the work of teaching is called teacher. So er is a suffix here. Okay. So here player means one who plays the role of. One who plays the role of, that is called a player. You can also say for our convenience actor. But the difference is actors are trained people. They play a particular role assigned to them, and players are natural. Okay. So all the men and women are players. What the poet is saying? All the men and women are players. In the third line it says they have their exits and entrances. What an idea. The poet says they all have, they means who? Men and women. Means all the people in the world. The poet has divided this population in male and female. Okay. So the poet says they have their exits and entrance. Exits and entrance. If you talk about stage, if you talk about players, we understand the meaning of exits and entrances. Exit means to leave the stage after your performance, and entrance means to come on the stage, to enter the stage to give your performance whatever role you were assigned to. Okay. But the poet here means they all have. These are not actors. These are real human beings. So we human beings, men and women, all people in the world, they have their exits. Now the stage is the whole world. Okay. Now in this world, when someone takes birth, that means he has entered the world, that is, he has started his work as a player on this stage of this earth. Okay. Stage on this earth. Okay. And exit means leaving this world, that is death. Okay, understood? If we talk about the stage of the world, our birth is the entrance and our death is the exit. And therefore, they have their exits and their entrances. All the men and women of the world. In the fourth line, the poet says, and one man in his time plays many parts. One man in his time what he does, plays many roles. What is the meaning of this? Plays many roles or many parts. Instead of roles, given the word here in the poem, parts. Okay. man means anybody who has taken birth in this world, you, me, maybe anybody. In his, you can add the word her, in his or her time, and plays many parts means plays many roles. Now, how this idea came into the mind of the poet and how he is explaining by saying that on the world stage he has given the next line, his acts being 7 ages. He says his acts, the man who has taken birth, playing his role in his time means the time from his birth to the time of his death, his or her death. He has to play many parts, and the poet says his acts being 7 stages. The poet has divided a lifespan of a human being in 7 stages. In 7 stages. And now these 7 stages he has described in this poem, and that's all about the world and the stage. Let us learn about those 7 stages of a human being from his birth till his death. Let us start that. In the next line, the poet says, giving the first stage of life. At first, the infant. First stage. That is infant. A newborn baby, just taken birth and unaware of the worldly matters, worldly affairs. Innocent child, that is called an infant. The first stage is infant. Characters of infant are mewling and puking. Mewling and puking. Crying for everything. And the meaning of puking is given here, page number 24, that is throwing up or vomiting. Where? In the nurse's arms. In the nurse's arms. And it means that's the entry, or that the, you can say, entrance of a human being on the stage of this earth. And his role starts from that moment only. So the first stage, the poet says, is that of infant. Second stage. Second stage, then the whining schoolboy. Whining means complaining, not want to go to school, just unwilling to go to school. Mewling and puking in the nursery arms, and the whining schoolboy with his satchel. So the second stage is a whining schoolboy with his satchel. Satchel meaning school bag. Satchel. S-A-T-C-H-E-L. Satchel. That is school bag. School bag with him, going to school. How? Shining morning face, no doubt. Creeping like snake. Creeping. These are the characters of schoolboy. Creeping means moving very slowly. Moving very slowly like a snail. You know, you might be knowing the phrase as slow as a snail. So creeping like a snail. Why? Because don't want to go to school. That is unwilling. Unwilling to go to school, and therefore this schoolboy is creeping. How? With a satchel on his shoulder, you can say, or satchel with him in his hand. Okay. So this is the second stage. First one is an infant. Second one is schoolboy. Okay. Now, third one. Stage 3 or third stage, according to the poet William Shakespeare, is lover. An emotional entity, an emotional being, or you can say a teenager. You can say a teenager. Usually found that in this age, age of this stage, they are attracted towards one another. Therefore, this teenager, or he is also called as lover by the poet William Shakespeare. Teenager is a boy or girl between the age of 13 years to 19 years. So anyone who is in this age group is called a teenager. And you know, these age boys and girls, they are more attracted towards one another. Therefore, the third stage is of a lover. What they do? Characters of a lover or third stage: sighing like furnace, sighing, crying, weeping in loneliness. You know, thinking about the lover, thinking about what they have lost, thinking about the difficulties, thinking about the things they have missed, their company, sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad. Woeful ballad means sad poem or song. What they do? They sing or they write. Woeful. Woeful meaning sad. You know, and that is ballad. Woeful ballad. You might be remembering in the first poem on page number 2, we have learnt about this ballad, that is a short story poem with a message. So this woeful ballad is the part of these teenagers, life of these teenagers. Made to his mistress eyebrow means repenting or complaining about so many things of one another in this age. Okay. And then the poet mentions the fourth stage. Fourth stage of life. And what is that fourth stage? He says, as a soldier. As a soldier. Now don't take this as a soldier in literal sense. You can say a young man fighting for many things to earn money, to get name and fame, to discharge his responsibility for his family, maybe for his wife and children, mother, father, etc. So this is the fourth stage, and so he fights for almost everything in life. This is a young man. After this teenage, a young man who gets married and whose shoulders are weighed with the responsibility of so many things. He is responsible for the nation. He is responsible for the progress of anything, progress of a family, progress of himself, for his career. So he needs to fight on every stage of this age, and therefore this fourth stage the poet William Shakespeare is saying as soldier. That person or young man he is calling as soldier and giving the characteristics full of strange oaths. What he does? Full of strange oaths. This is the period when he takes oaths. I will do this, I will do that. This fourth stage is that of soldier, young man, and you can say a person between the age of, you can say, from 25 or 35 years to 45 years. This is young man. Okay. What are the characteristics? Full of strange oaths. Strange oaths. Oath. I can do this. I will do this. I will do that. I can turn over anything in this world. And bearded like the pard. And bearded means having beard. And this beard is like a pard. Pard means leopard. Leopard means very fast. Poetical short form of leopard. Very fast, very agile in the movements, very active. These are the characteristics of a soldier or young man. And few more things are there. Jealous in honor. He is jealous for honor. He wants honor for himself. Suddenly quick in quarrel. And he can fight or shout for any small thing if he is not getting that. That is, now you use the term angry young man. That kind of thing means this is that stage when you get something, you are happy, and we don't get the things, you grow very sad. And that kind of thing is there in this stage, in this age. So therefore the poet is saying, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation. He forgets in this stage that whatever reputation you are thinking about, or this man and this stage is thinking about, it is just a bubble reputation. just like bubble on the water bubble reputation, nothing. But for that nothing, he can do everything, he can do anything, because he is young, energetic, and full of strange oaths. And he plays his part, his role, very energetically, enthusiastically. So, this is that stage fourth. Then, even in the cannon's mouth, one word is used for this youth. Cannon's mouth means facing great danger of life. Means whatever danger is there in life, this young man is ready to do whatever sacrifice is required or whatever things are required without caring for his own life even. And therefore, he is also considered as soldier. Now after this, so he can fight for seeking that bubble reputation even in Cannon's death, without caring even for his life. He can do anything. Most important, you can say, stage of his life. Now comes the next stage. And that stage is stage number 5 or fifth stage. And this stage is of middle age. From 45 years to 60 years is usually considered as middle age. What the poet says about this age, and then the justice. The poet is using the word justice for this middle-aged man. Justice. Justice in fair round belly with good capon line. See there, page number 24. See in the footnotes. Good. See here. Can you see this? With good capon line, with excess fat from careless eating habits. Okay. So he grew fat because eats much, don't do exercise, and therefore grew very fat. With eyes severe and beard of formal cut. Characters of this fifth stage middle-aged man: eyes serious. When talk about anything, talk about any matter, his eyes are serious, and means looking seriously at any issue, and having beard of formal cut. Formal cut beard to perhaps show the maturity or the middle age, just to be apt for this justice, to be a justice. Full of wise saws. Here in this stage, he is full of wise saws. Here saws means sayings. And therefore, in this stage, people mostly use sayings. All is well that ends well, or all that glitters is not gold. Such kind of things they use for their talk, for their sayings, just to make the people understand just to make the juniors understand the meaning of life. And therefore, full of wise saws and modern instances. And they add modern instances to these wise saws or wise sayings. Modern instances, modern facts. Means telling the generation that they are old as well as updated and modern, so that they can be accepted by the next generation, their opinions, their views, and whatever experience they are having of their lives. And so he plays his part. Then comes the sixth stage, and he plays his part this way: justice, sixth stage. What is the sixth stage? Next, go to the next line. The sixth stage shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, that is old, who has crossed the age of 60, who has crossed the age of 60 and growing towards that old man, old age, that is 60 plus, you can say, into the sixth age shifts into the lean and slipper pattern. Now he becomes lean, weak. His pants slips down his vest with spectacles on nose. The spectacles wearing on nose, these are the characters of this old man on the playing that sixth stage of life. Then and pouch on side. In olden days, you might be knowing, they used to keep a pouch with them for keeping money, and your ladies, they used to keep pouch for carrying the things for themselves. So pouch on the side and his youthful hose. See the meaning there? Close fitting covering for legs, which he used to wear in his youthful days, well shaved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and now become very thin. Legs means shank means legs between knee to ankle. Okay, for his shrunk shank and his big manly voice big. Voice big, but legs thin. Means became very weak. Means weak. Less strength. Okay. And his big manly voice turning again towards childish treble. And he from that stage grows just like a child, you say second childhood. You might have heard this saying, old age is a second childhood. And therefore turning again towards childish treble. See the meaning of treble there? 3 times weaker than. Means very weak. Becomes weak, weaker. You can say weakest. So this is like a child, childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sounds. Now when he talks, his voice is not clear. Sometimes his voice is having some whistles like sounds, and it means he is not sure about what he is talking, or whatever he said, it may not be audible to others, audible to the people around. So sixth stage, old man, voice big but legs thin, it means weak. It may, and this childish treble, it means like a child becomes weak and weak and weak, very weaker. Now last scene of all that ends this stage eventful history, and that is the seventh and last stage. Sixth, now seventh stage. And what is the second stage? Dotage. And you can say death. First stage, entrance, and this is exit. Last one. So that ends this strange and eventful history in second childishness and mere oblivion. See the meaning of oblivion. Second childishness. See the meaning here. Second childishness, a return to the helpless, ignorant state of a child, means became very, very weak, very old, and then oblivion, the state of being unaware of unconscious of surroundings and happenings. It means forgotten about everything, oblivion. He is in the stage of oblivion, forgetting the things, not even recognizing the people. So this is the stage of oblivion, and that stage the poet is describing as sans. Sans. There is one word in English language, sans, and it means without. So what the poet is saying? Sans teeth, no teeth. Sans eyes, eyes are there but no eyesight, therefore sans eyes. Sans taste, taste whatever eating or tasting, having no taste at all. Sans everything, it means nothing in life. Everything means his life without everything, and therefore this is the preparation for last stage or the last stage of his life, death. And this way the poet has described the 7 stages of a human being in his life. Understood? Let me summarize these 7 stages. What were the 7 stages? Number 1, his entry into this world, that is infant. Number 2, schoolboy, or you can say teenager. Number 3, lover. Number 4, soldier. 5th, justice, between the age of 45 to 60, you can say. Then 6th stage, old man, 60 plus. Then 7th stage means the stage when he forgets everything. He is in the stage of oblivion and nears his death. So these are the 7 stages of a man's life, given by William Shakespeare. Thank you. अभी है प्लेसेस में